the Mavs just found a hidden star. Quentin Grimes has been absolutely phenomenal this season for the Mavericks. From his scoring efficiency to his defensive presence, it's clear that he's taken his game to another level. This isn't just a solid role player we're talking about. Grimes has been a vital piece for Dallas, and his contributions are impossible to ignore. Whether it's his smooth three-point stroke, his ability to attack the basket, or his relentless effort on defense, Grimes has shown he can do it all. Let's start with the basics. Grimes is averaging over 10 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists per game this season, while shooting a remarkable 47% from the field. Those numbers might seem modest at first glance, but they only scratch the surface of his impact. What really makes him stand out is how he's elevated his efficiency. For a player who's still just 24 years old, putting up these kinds of stats with such consistency is incredibly impressive. His shooting has been a major weapon. Grimes is knocking down over 40% of his three-point attempts, making him one of the most reliable shooters on the team. That kind of accuracy stretches defenses and creates opportunities for everyone else on the floor. Whether Luka or Kyrie is running the offense, having someone like Grimes waiting on the perimeter is a luxury. Even in games without the two stars, like the recent blowout against the Lakers, Grimes proved he can lead the charge. In that matchup, he exploded for 23 points, tied his career high with 9 rebounds, and dished out 6 assists, all without committing a single turnover. It was his first game as a Maverick with 20 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists, and he did it in under 30 minutes. That's elite company. Only Luka and Kyrie have achieved similar stat lines in Dallas. What makes Grimes' performances even more exciting is how versatile his scoring has become. Sure, he's deadly from beyond the arc, but he's also a menace in the paint. This season, Grimes has been attacking the basket with confidence, shooting an incredible 67% in the restricted area. That level of finishing makes him a dual threat scorer. He can torch you from deep or take it straight to the rim. This added dimension to his game keeps defenses guessing and makes the Mavericks' offense that much harder to stop. Grimes' contributions don't stop on offense. His defense has been outstanding, and it's one of the main reasons why he's become such a key player for Dallas. He's holding opponents to under 40% shooting as the primary defender, a mark that places him among the league's elite defenders. For context, players like Jaren Jackson Jr. and Nicholas Batum, widely regarded as some of the best defenders in the NBA, are in the same conversation. Grimes' ability to guard multiple positions, contest shots, and make life miserable for opposing scorers has been invaluable. His defensive field goal percentage of 39.9 is the 6th best in the league, and that speaks volumes about his effort and basketball IQ. But it's not just his defense that stands out. It's the way he elevates the team when he's on the floor. Grimes is ranked 3rd among bench players in net rating this season, behind only Aaron Wiggins and Karis LeVert. When Grimes checks into the game, the Mavericks are simply better. He's a stabilizing force, whether he's coming off the bench to provide energy or playing key minutes in crunch time. That kind of impact is rare, and it shows just how valuable he is to this team. Now let's talk about improvement. Compared to last season, Grimes has taken a massive leap forward. His helpful overall player score, or HOPS, has skyrocketed. Last year, his score was comparable to Max Christie, a fringe rotation player. This season, he's climbed to the level of Amir Coffey, who's ranked among the top 160 players in the league. That kind of growth is a testament to Grimes' work ethic and how well he's adapted to his role in Dallas. He's gone from being a solid contributor to a legitimate difference maker, and the Mavericks are reaping the benefits. His unselfishness, versatility, and high basketball IQ make him the perfect complement to the team's core. Whether he's knocking down a clutch 3, diving for a loose ball, or making the extra pass, Grimes does all the little things that lead to wins. Speaking of wins, the Mavericks are 5-1 this season when Grimes scores 20 or more points. That stat alone shows just how impactful he can be. When he's locked in, the team thrives. And it's not just about the scoring. Grimes finds ways to contribute in every facet of the game. His rebounding, playmaking, and defense are all crucial to the Mavericks' success. In the win over the Lakers, he tied his career high in rebounds and matched his season high in assists, showing just how well-rounded his game has become. By the way, if you guys enjoy these deep dives, I'll be posting every day during this season. I genuinely appreciate if you could subscribe. Thanks. Anyways, Grimes. Despite his breakout performances, Grimes has remained humble and focused. He's the kind of player who leads by example, and his work ethic is contagious. Whether it's his relentless effort on defense, his dedication to improving his shot, or his willingness to do whatever the team needs, Grimes sets the tone for the Mavericks. He's become a fan favorite, and it's easy to see why. There's been some buzz about Grimes' trade value this season. Brian Windhorst mentioned that he's one of the Mavericks' most coveted assets, and teams around the league are taking notice. But Dallas fans are clear. They don't want to see Grimes go anywhere. Most fans are excited about the potential of Grimes playing alongside a fully healthy Luka and Kyrie. They believe his impact would be even greater in that scenario, and they're probably right. Grimes' ability to adapt to different lineups and situations has been a huge advantage for the Mavericks. Whether he's playing with the starters or coming off the bench, he finds ways to make an impact. His chemistry with teammates like Luka and Kyrie has been evident, but he's also formed strong connections with other role players. This adaptability has been crucial in a season where injuries have forced the Mavericks to shuffle their rotations. At just 24 years old, Grimes has already established himself as one of the most valuable players on the Mavericks roster. His combination of scoring, defense, and basketball IQ is rare, and it's exciting to think about how much more he can grow. This season feels like just the beginning for Grimes. He's shown he can excel in his role, but there's no doubt he has the potential to take on an even bigger role in the future. Grimes' ability to step up in big moments has been one of the most impressive aspects of his season. Whether it's hitting a clutch three, grabbing a key rebound, or making a critical defensive stop, he's always ready when his number is called. That kind of reliability is invaluable for a team with championship aspirations. Grimes isn't just a good player, he's a winning player. What really sets Grimes apart is his mentality. He's confident, but not cocky, driven, but not reckless. He plays with a chip on his shoulder, and it's clear he's determined to prove himself every time he steps on the court. That mindset, combined with his talent and work ethic, is what makes him so special. Even in a season filled with challenges, including injuries to key players, Grimes has been a bright spot for the Mavericks. His consistency, versatility, and impact have been a stabilizing force for the team. He's shown that he's more than capable of stepping up when needed, and his performances this season have been a big reason for the Mavericks' success. As the season goes on, it'll be exciting to see how Grimes continues to evolve. He's already made a huge leap from last year, and there's no reason to believe he won't keep improving. With his skill set, basketball IQ, and relentless drive, Grimes has all the tools to become a star in this league. But when you dig into his advanced numbers, it just proves how great he's really been. Let's start with his scoring numbers. Quentin Grimes' advanced scoring stats this season have been nothing short of impressive. His efficiency, consistency, and ability to maximize every opportunity have made him a standout for the Mavericks. Let's dive into the numbers, which tell the story of a player who's quietly becoming one of the most effective scorers in the league. Grimes is putting up just over 10 points per game, which might not jump off the page initially, but when you look at the efficiency behind those numbers, it's clear why his contributions are so valuable. His effective field goal percentage is an impressive 58.1%, which is better than over 3/4 of players in the league. That stat isn't just about making shots, it's about making the right shots. Grimes knows how to pick his spots, and it shows in how well he converts his opportunities. One of the most telling stats is his points per field goal attempt, which sits at 1.2. That means for every shot he takes, he's generating significant value for the Mavericks. Whether it's hitting mid-range jumpers, knocking down threes, or attacking the rim, Grimes has found ways to maximize every chance he gets. And it's not just about volume. He's doing all of this while taking fewer than 8 shots per game. That level of efficiency is rare and incredibly valuable in today's NBA. Grimes' true shooting percentage is another area where he shines. At 61.1%, he's among the most efficient scorers in the league. True shooting takes into account field goals, three-pointers, and free throws, giving a comprehensive look at a player's scoring efficiency. For Grimes to be this effective across the board shows how versatile and reliable he's been. He's scoring over 1.2 points per scoring attempt, which puts him ahead of nearly 8 out of every 10 players in the league. Let's break it down further. Grimes is averaging almost 2 made 2-pointers per game and just under 2 made 3-pointers per game, with a total of fewer than 8 field goal attempts each night. That balance between inside and outside scoring makes him unpredictable and hard to guard. Opponents can't simply key in on one part of his game because he's capable of burning them in multiple ways. His ability to stretch the floor with his shooting while still being a threat inside adds another layer to the Mavericks' offense. And speaking of his three-point shooting, it's been a game changer. It's worth noting that Grimes' deep shooting plays a huge role in those advanced stats. His ability to space the floor creates opportunities for everyone else on the team, making him a critical piece of Dallas's offensive puzzle. But what really sets Grimes apart is how he stacks up against his peers. When you see phrases like better than 78% of players attached to his advanced stats, It paints a clear picture. Grimes isn't just doing well, he's excelling in ways that put him ahead of most players in the league. That kind of statistical dominance is exactly what teams look for in high-level role players. Efficiency is the name of the game for Grimes. Whether it's his effective field goal percentage, true shooting percentage, or points per attempt, the numbers all point to the same conclusion. He's making the most of every opportunity. In a league where shot selection and efficiency often separate good players from great ones, Grimes has carved out a niche as one of the Mavericks' most dependable scorers. What's really fun about watching Grimes is how easy he makes it look. His shot selection, mechanics, and decision-making all work together seamlessly. He doesn't force bad shots or try to do too much. Instead, he plays within himself and the team system, which is a big reason why his efficiency numbers are so high. It's clear he understands his role and executes it to perfection. Another thing that stands out is how consistent Grimes has been. Efficiency stats like these aren't the result of a few hot games. They're built on a foundation of steady performance. Grimes brings the same level of effort and precision every night, and it's paying off in a big way for both him and the Mavericks. His ability to contribute without needing a high volume of shots is also crucial. On a team with stars like Luka and Kyrie, having a player like Grimes who can make a significant impact without dominating the ball is invaluable. He fits seamlessly alongside them, complementing their games and adding another layer to the Mavericks' offensive attack. Advanced stats like these don't just happen by accident. They're the result of hard work, high basketball IQ, and a deep understanding of the game. Grimes' numbers show a player who's not just talented, but also dedicated to improving and finding ways to help his team win. His scoring efficiency is a direct reflection of that effort, and it's been a huge factor in Dallas' success this season. When you look at all these numbers together, effective field goal percentage, true shooting percentage, points per attempt, it's clear that Grimes is doing something special. He's not just scoring, he's scoring efficiently, consistently, and in ways that elevate the entire team. That's the kind of player every coach dreams of having. In a season where the Mavericks have had their ups and downs, Grimes has been a steadying presence. His advanced scoring stats highlight just how impactful he's been, and it's exciting to think about how much more he can grow. If this is what he's capable of now, the sky's the limit for what he could achieve in the future. But then if you look at his teamwork stats, it makes a lot more sense. Let's start with the basics. Grimes boasts a net rating of plus 5.1, meaning the Mavericks outscore their opponents by over 5 points per 100 possessions when he's on the floor. That's a clear indicator of how impactful he's been. Whether it's offense or defense, Grimes finds ways to make a difference, and it shows up in the team's performance. His offensive rating is a stellar 117.4, and his defensive rating is 112.3. That combination means he's helping the Mavericks score efficiently while also holding opponents in check. What's even more impressive is how these numbers stack up across the league. Grimes is ranked higher than 69% of players in terms of his mixed teamwork stats. This metric evaluates how much his presence creates a positive margin for the team compared to others. Being in the top third of the league in this category is no small feat, especially for a player who isn't the team's primary star. It's a testament to how well he understands the game and his role within the Mavericks system. Now, let's talk about his plus-minus numbers. Grimes has been on the floor for more than 60% of games where the Mavericks posted a positive plus-minus. That means in the majority of games where Dallas outperformed their opponents, Grimes was actively contributing to that success. This stat highlights just how often he's been a positive force for the team, whether it's through his scoring, defense, or overall presence on the court. What makes Grimes' teamwork stats so remarkable is how balanced they are. He's not just excelling on one end of the floor, he's contributing on both offense and defense. His offensive ratings of 117.4 reflects his ability to create and convert scoring opportunities, while his defensive rating of 112.3 shows his value in slowing down opponents. That balance is rare and incredibly valuable, especially for a team with championship aspirations. Grimes' high net rating isn't just a product of being on the floor with great players, it's a result of his own efforts. He's making smart decisions, executing plays, and finding ways to impact the game in subtle but significant ways. Whether it's setting the right screen, making the extra pass, or rotating on defense, Grimes is always doing something to help the team. His mixed teamwork stats are a great example of how he elevates those around him. This metric isn't just about individual performance, it's about how much better the team performs when Grimes is in the game. To rank above nearly 70% of players in this category shows just how valuable he is to the Mavericks. He's not just fitting into the team system, he's helping define it. It's also worth noting how consistent Grimes has been. These advanced stats aren't the result of a few standout games. They're a reflection of his steady impact throughout the season. Game after game, Grimes brings the same level of effort, focus, and execution. That kind of reliability is rare and makes him an invaluable asset for Dallas. What really stands out about Grimes is how seamlessly he fits into the Mavericks' rotations. He doesn't need the ball in his hands all the time to make an impact. Instead, he finds ways to contribute within the flow of the game. Whether it's spacing the floor on offense or providing help defense, Grimes always seems to be in the right place at the right time. His teamwork stats also highlight his versatility. Grimes is effective in a variety of lineups and situations, whether he's playing with the starters or coming off the bench. That adaptability makes him a key piece for the Mavericks, especially in a season where injuries and lineup changes have been a constant challenge. No matter who he's playing alongside, Grimes finds ways to make it work. One of the most impressive aspects of Grimes' teamwork stats is how they reflect his basketball IQ. These numbers aren't just about physical talent, they're about understanding the game and making smart decisions. Grimes consistently makes the right reads, whether it's on offense or defense, and that's a big reason why his net rating is so high. Another important factor is his effort. Advanced stats like these don't happen by accident. They're the result of hard work and attention to detail. Grimes puts in the effort on every possession, and it's paying off in a big way. His ability to maintain that level of intensity throughout the season is a huge reason for his success. Grimes' impact goes beyond the box score. His presence on the floor changes the dynamic of the game, even if it doesn't always show up in traditional stats. His teamwork stats capture this intangible value, highlighting how much he contributes to the Mavericks' success in ways that aren't always obvious. In a league where advanced stats are becoming increasingly important, Grimes is a shining example of how valuable these metrics can be. His net rating, offensive rating, defensive rating, and mixed teamwork stats all tell the same story. He's a player who makes his team better in every possible way. These numbers don't lie, and they paint a picture of a player who's having a phenomenal season. When you combine all these stats, it's clear that Grimes is one of the Mavericks' most important players. His ability to contribute on both ends of the floor, his high basketball IQ, and his relentless effort make him a perfect fit for Dallas. These teamwork stats aren't just impressive, they're a testament to how good Grimes has been this season, but then we can check out his defense stats, because that's what we all know Grimes for. Quentin Grimes' advanced defensive stats this season show just how important he's been for the Mavericks on that end of the floor. His ability to impact the game defensively, both as an individual and as part of the team, has been outstanding. The numbers speak volumes about his contributions and prove why he's become such a valuable asset for Dallas. Grimes ranks higher than 66% of players in mixed team defense. This metric combines his ability to shut down opponents individually and how much he helps prevent teams from scoring as a whole. Being in the top third of the league in this category is no small feat. It highlights his consistency, effort, and understanding of defensive principles. He's not just guarding his man, he's impacting every possession with his presence. One of the most impressive parts of Grimes' defensive game is his rebounding. He's averaging 3.4 defensive rebounds per game, which is a significant contribution, especially for a guard. Those boards aren't just numbers, they're possessions gained for Dallas. Every rebound he secures means the Mavericks can push the ball and transition into offense faster, which is crucial for a team that thrives in those moments. Grimes' defensive efficiency rating is 112.3, which measures how well the Mavericks perform defensively when he's on the floor. This shows how he anchors the team's defense and helps create stops. It's not just about him guarding one-on-one, it's about how he fits into the entire defensive scheme. He's consistently in the right place at the right time, whether he's rotating to help or contesting a shot. His ability to get steals also stands out. Grimes averages 0.7 steals per game, which might not sound flashy, but it's effective. Those steals disrupt the rhythm of opposing offenses and often lead to easy scoring opportunities for Dallas. What's even more impressive is how cleanly he does it. Grimes doesn't gamble or overreach. He picks his spots carefully, making him a reliable defensive presence. Then there's his rim protection. Grimes averages 0.3 blocks per game, which is solid for a guard. His ability to contest shots in the paint adds another layer to his defensive game. It's not just about blocking shots, it's about altering them. Even when he doesn't get the block, his presence forces opponents to think twice before driving to the basket. When you look at the totality of his defensive game, it's clear that Grimes excels at both individual and team defense. He's not just shutting down his man, he's actively making the entire Mavericks defense better. His ability to communicate, rotate, and stay disciplined is a big reason why Dallas has been able to hold opponents in check this season. Grimes' defensive impact goes beyond the box score. Mixed team defense, which combines individual stops with team efficiency, is one of the best ways to measure a player's overall defensive value. Ranking above 2/3 of the league in this stat shows that Grimes isn't just doing the little things, he's doing them exceptionally well. He's a difference maker, plain and simple. What's really impressive is how Grimes balances his defensive responsibilities with his offensive contributions. It's not easy to be this effective on both ends of the floor, but Grimes makes it look effortless. He understands when to lock in defensively and when to conserve energy for the offensive side. That level of awareness is rare, especially for a player who's still relatively early in his career. Another key part of Grimes' defensive success is his effort. Defense is as much about hustle and heart as it is about skill, and Grimes brings it every night. Whether he's closing out on shooters, fighting through screens, or boxing out for rebounds, he's always giving 100%. That kind of commitment sets the tone for the rest of the team and inspires his teammates to step up their own defensive intensity. Grimes' defense is also incredibly disciplined. He doesn't foul unnecessarily or get caught out of position. Instead, he stays focused and executes the team's game plan. This discipline is a big reason why his defensive efficiency numbers are so strong. He's not just reacting to what's happening, he's anticipating it, which gives him an edge over opponents. His ability to guard multiple positions is another standout feature of his defensive game. Grimes can switch onto bigger players without getting overpowered and can stick with quicker guards without losing a step. This versatility is invaluable in today's NBA, where teams are constantly looking for players who can defend across different matchups. One thing that's often overlooked is how much Grimes' defense impacts his teammates. His presence on the floor allows other players to focus on their assignments without worrying about covering for him. That trust and reliability are huge for team chemistry and overall defensive performance. When Grimes is on the court, the Mavericks know they have someone they can count on to make the right play defensively. Grimes' defensive stats might not always jump off the page, but that's because so much of what he does goes beyond the number. It's the way he contests shots, disrupts passing lanes, and forces turnovers that really make him stand out. He's not just playing defense, he's influencing the game on a deeper level. When you combine his individual skills with his impact on team defense, it's easy to see why Grimes has been so valuable for Dallas this season. His ability to affect the game in so many ways makes him one of the most well-rounded defenders on the team. And the best part is, he's only getting better. As he continues to develop, there's no doubt his defensive numbers will become even more impressive. Grimes' advanced defensive stats are a testament to his hard work, basketball IQ, and dedication to the game. He's not just a solid defender, he's a game changer. The Mavericks are lucky to have him, and his contributions on that end of the floor are a big reason for their success this season. But I do also want to look at his usage numbers. Quentin Grimes' advanced usage stats this season highlight just how efficiently and effectively he's been contributing for the Mavericks. His usage rate sits at 18.5%, which means that nearly 1 out of every 5 offensive possessions he's on the floor ends with an action from him, whether it's a shot, assist, free throw, or turnover. That might not sound like a huge number compared to star players, but for someone in his role, it's impressive. Grimes is making the most out of every possession he's involved in, and it's paying off in a big way for Dallas. Let's break it down. Grimes is attempting 7.8 shots per game, taking 1.9 free throws, and dishing out 2.1 assists, all while averaging just 1.2 turnovers. That's a pretty clean stat line. He's finding ways to contribute without forcing the issue, which is exactly what you want from a player in his position. He's efficient, he's smart, and he knows how to keep the offense moving. One of the key things about his usage stats is how balanced they are. Grimes isn't dominating the ball or taking unnecessary risks. Instead, he's playing within the team system and making the right decisions. Whether it's taking a shot when he's open, finding a teammate for an assist, or drawing a foul to get to the free throw line, Grimes is always adding value to the Mavericks offense. His low turnover rate is another standout aspect of his game. With just 1.2 turnovers per game, Grimes is incredibly careful with the ball. He's not making reckless passes or trying to do too much. Instead, he's staying composed and making smart plays. This kind of discipline is a big reason why his usage rate is so effective. He's not just using possessions, he's using them well. Grimes is involved in 46.4 possessions per game, which shows just how much responsibility he has within the Mavericks offense. That's a significant workload, especially for a player who's not the primary ball handler. Yet, He's handling it with ease, contributing in a variety of ways without overextending himself. It's a delicate balance, and Grimes has nailed it this season. His assist numbers are also worth highlighting. At 2.1 assists per game, Grimes is finding ways to create opportunities for his teammates. He's not just a scorer, he's a playmaker too. Whether it's setting up a shooter on the perimeter or finding a cutter for an easy basket, Grimes has shown he can make the right pass at the right time. His assist numbers might not be eye-popping, but they're a testament to his unselfishness and basketball IQ. Another important stat is his free throw attempts. Grimes is getting to the line 1.9 times per game, which might not seem like much, but it's a sign of his willingness to attack the basket. Drawing fouls and getting to the free throw line is an underrated part of his game, and it's something that helps keep defenses honest. It also adds an extra layer to his offensive game, making him even harder to guard. What's really impressive is how Grimes' usage rate compares to other players in the league. He ranks higher than 56% of players in this category, which is solid for someone who's not a primary option. It shows that he's finding ways to stay involved and make an impact, even without dominating the ball. That's exactly the kind of player teams need to succeed at the highest level. Grimes' usage stats also highlight his efficiency. He's not just using possessions, he's maximizing them. Whether he's scoring, assisting, or drawing fouls, Grimes is consistently making the most out of every opportunity. This kind of production is a big reason why the Mavericks have been able to rely on him so heavily this season. His ability to contribute in a variety of ways is what makes his usage rate so effective. Grimes isn't just a one-dimensional player. He can score, he can pass, and he can create opportunities for others. That versatility is invaluable, especially in a team setting where every player's role matters. Grimes' usage stats are also a reflection of his basketball IQ. He understands the game at a high level and knows how to read defenses, find open teammates, and exploit mismatches. This understanding allows him to stay involved in the offense without forcing anything. He's playing within himself and the team system, which is a big reason why his usage rate is so impressive. Another thing to note is how Grimes' usage stats complement his efficiency stats. His ability to maintain a high usage rate while also being incredibly efficient is rare. It shows that he's not just taking on a larger role, he's excelling in it. This balance is a big reason why he's been so valuable to the Mavericks this season. Grimes' advanced usage stats are a testament to his growth as a player. He's taken on more responsibility within the Mavericks offense and has thrived in that role. His ability to contribute in so many different ways has been a game changer for Dallas, and it's exciting to see how much more he can grow. In a league where efficiency and versatility are becoming increasingly important, Grimes is proving that he's the real deal. His usage stats highlight just how impactful he's been this season, and they're a big reason why he's become such an integral part of the Mavericks' success. But besides that, I want to dig into some more advanced scoring numbers. These show what he's doing clearer in my opinion. Starting with true shooting percentage, Grimes sits at 57.7%, placing him in the 60th percentile among players. This metric factors in field goals, three-pointers, and free throws, offering a comprehensive measure of efficiency. Grimes' solid performance here shows that he's not just scoring, he's doing so with precision and care. He knows how to pick his spots, and when he takes a shot, it's often a high-quality attempt. His shot quality score of 65.6 puts him in the 75th percentile, which is outstanding. This stat measures the likelihood of his shots being successful based on where and how he's taking them. Grimes clearly understands the game at a high level, finding the best opportunities to maximize his efficiency. Whether it's spacing the floor for teammates or taking advantage of defensive lapses, he's proving to be a smart and effective scorer. Now let's look at his free throw rate, which is 21.1%. This places him in the 48th percentile, showing he's drawing fouls at a decent rate. While this might not stand out compared to his other stats, it still adds value to his offensive game. Getting to the line helps keep defenses honest and adds another dimension to his scoring arsenal. Even though this area has room for growth, Grimes is showing a willingness to attack and draw contact when needed. Grimes' three-point attempt rate, however, is where he truly shines. At 62.4%, he's in the 87th percentile, which is fantastic. This stat reflects how much of his offensive game revolves around shooting from deep. The Mavericks rely heavily on spacing, and Grimes has embraced his role as a sharpshooter. His ability to consistently attempt threes at such a high rate makes him a significant weapon, especially alongside ball-dominant players like Luka and Kyrie. On the offensive boards, Grimes' numbers are less impressive, with an offensive rebounding rating of -0.8, landing him in the 31st percentile. Rebounding isn't a primary focus of his role, so this stat doesn't take away from his overall impact. Instead, it highlights how he prioritizes other aspects of the game, such as floor spacing and facilitating the offense. Even without contributing much on the boards, he remains an essential part of Dallas's offensive success. His turnover rate, or CTOV, is a major strength. Grimes' rate of 8.2% places him in the 51st percentile, showing he's protecting the ball well. This stat is a reflection of his smart decision-making and disciplined play. Grimes isn't forcing bad passes or taking unnecessary risks, which keeps the Mavericks' offense flowing smoothly. His ability to limit turnovers is critical, especially in a system that values efficiency and ball movement. Grimes' load rating is another area where he demonstrates balance. At 25.6, he's in the 51st percentile, meaning he's carrying a fair share of the offensive workload without being overwhelmed. This balance allows him to focus on what he does best, knocking down shots, creating space, and making quick decisions. He's not overextending himself, which helps him stay effective and efficient. His creation stat of 2.6 puts him in the 53rd percentile, which highlights his ability to generate offense for himself and his teammates. While he's not the primary creator for the Mavericks, he's showing that he can take on some playmaking responsibilities when needed. Grimes is finding ways to contribute beyond scoring, which adds another layer to his offensive impact. His versatility is a big reason why he's become such a valuable piece for Dallas. Portability is another stat that shows Grimes' value. With a score of 5.7, he's in the 69th percentile, indicating how well he fits into different lineups and offensive systems. This adaptability is crucial for a team like the Mavericks, who often adjust their rotations depending on matchups and injuries. Grimes' ability to thrive, regardless of who he's playing alongside, makes him an incredibly reliable option. His passer rating of 3.7 places him in the 43rd percentile, showing that while playmaking isn't his primary role, he's still contributing. Grimes isn't trying to force flashy assists or make risky plays. Instead, he's keeping things simple and effective. He's making the right passes at the right times, which helps maintain the team's offensive rhythm. Finally, his crafted offensive plus-minus, or crafted OPM, is negative 0.5, putting him in the 59th percentile. While this number might seem average at first glance, it's important to remember that Grimes' role isn't to carry the offense. Instead, he's tasked with complementing the team's stars, and his performance in this stat reflects that he's doing his job well. He's providing consistent contributions without needing to dominate the ball, which is exactly what the Mavericks need from him. What stands out most about Grimes' offensive game is how well-rounded it is. He's not just a scorer, he's a player who can adapt to whatever the team needs. His advanced stats show a balance of shooting, decision-making, and adaptability, all of which are critical for success in today's NBA. Grimes isn't trying to do too much, and that's what makes him so effective. His ability to take smart shots is a huge part of his success. The combination of his high shot quality and true shooting percentage shows that Grimes knows how to maximize his opportunity. He's not taking wild, low percentage attempts. Instead, he's finding ways to contribute efficiently and effectively. This kind of shot selection is a big reason why the Mavericks trust him so much on offense. Grimes' three-point attempt rate is another highlight. His willingness to take threes at such a high volume makes him a constant threat from beyond the arc. This spacing forces defenses to stay honest, opening up the floor for the Mavericks' other offensive options. Grimes' shooting ability isn't just about the points he scores, it's about how he impacts the entire team's offensive flow. His turnover rate and decision-making also deserve credit. Grimes' ability to limit mistakes while staying active in the offense is impressive. He's not a flashy player, but his efficiency and reliability make him incredibly valuable. Every possession he uses is an opportunity for the Mavericks to score or create an advantage, and Grimes rarely wastes those chances. Grimes' adaptability is another key factor in his offensive success. His portability stat shows that he can fit into different lineups and systems without missing a beat. Whether he's playing alongside the starters or coming off the bench, Grimes finds ways to contribute. This kind of flexibility is crucial for a team that's constantly adjusting to matchups and situations. His playmaking might not stand out as much as his scoring, but it's still an important part of his game. Grimes' assists show that he's capable of creating for others when needed. He's not trying to be the primary facilitator, but he's doing enough to keep the offense moving. This balance between scoring and playmaking makes him a well-rounded offensive weapon. Grimes' advanced offensive stats highlight a player who understands his role and executes it to perfection. He's not trying to be the star of the show. That's not his job. Instead, he's providing consistent, reliable contributions that make the Mavericks offense better. His ability to balance efficiency, versatility, and adaptability makes him a crucial part of the team's success. What's exciting about Grimes is how much room he still has to grow. His advanced stats already show a player who's making a significant impact, but there's no doubt he can continue to improve. As he gains more experience and develops his game further, it'll be interesting to see just how much better he can get. Grimes' offensive game isn't about flash, it's about substance. His advanced stats show a player who's doing all the little things that lead to big results. Whether it's spacing the floor, taking care of the ball, or making smart decisions, Grimes is proving he's a key piece for the Mavericks this season and beyond. Overall, though, Quentin Grimes has been an absolute standout for the Mavericks this season, especially during the stretches when Luka and Kyrie have been sidelined. He stepped up in ways that have not only filled the gaps, but also elevated the team's overall performance. While Luka and Kyrie are the stars, Grimes has shown he's more than capable of carrying some of the load, proving his value as a reliable and versatile contributor. His ability to remain efficient under pressure has been key. Without the team's primary ball handlers, Grimes has embraced a larger role and executed it with precision. His consistent shooting, smart decision-making, and ability to adapt to increased offensive responsibilities have kept the Mavericks competitive. Whether it's spacing the floor with his deadly three-point shooting, creating opportunities for teammates, or finding ways to score in critical moments, Grimes has delivered time and time again. On the defensive end, his effort and focus have been just as impactful. While the team has faced challenges without their stars, Grimes' hustle and ability to step into a larger leadership role have helped stabilize the Mavericks during tough stretches. His advanced stats back up what fans and analysts alike can see. Grimes has been a difference maker. This season has been a testament to Grimes' growth as a player and his importance to the Mavericks' success. He's proven that he's not just a complimentary piece, but someone who can thrive when the spotlight is on him. With the consistency and poise he's displayed, Grimes is undoubtedly a critical part of the Mavericks' present and future. His contributions during Luka and Kyrie's absence have been nothing short of remarkable. If you guys enjoyed this, I'll be posting every day during the season. I genuinely appreciate if you could subscribe. Thanks for watching.